It is a good day for a build, isn't it? How about a half a build? How about we do half a build today? It's Saturday. We don't need to do a whole build because we did half the build last night. Welcome back to the Build Show. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Gaming Studio. And tonight we're building half a PC. First time in Empower history, Empower Gaming Computers history, that we had to say that. We're building half a PC. Hey, what's up, my favorite tech? Welcome back to the Build Show. Brendo, welcome back. The Build Show. Kenneth, welcome back to the Build Show. Dawson, welcome to the Build Show. I think that's a first time chat. Do you have experience with dual PC setups? Yes, I have some experience with dual PC setups. Been dealing with it for 5 or 6 years now. Advising people of late not to do dual PC setups because it overly complicates the setup, to be honest. But feel free to ask me any questions and I'll try to answer them the best I can for you. What's up, Killa? Over there on the Kick side as well. Welcome back to the Build Show. I am going to kill that comment. It looks like spam. How'd the car situation go? That's a good question. So, if you don't know, for those of you who weren't here yesterday, I think most of you here were. What's up, Porgaslor? Welcome back to the Build Show. It's been a minute since I could watch the stream. No worries, man. Welcome back. So if you weren't here yesterday, Mrs. Empower called me mid-stream, mid-build, while we were working on this PC here behind me. Or, yes, I guess that would be behind me. And she said, hey, the car won't start. I'm like, you're kidding me. And she's like, no, there's zero power whatsoever. So when I say zero power, I'm saying you open the door, there's no dome light, you turn the key, there's not even a click, there's nothing, just zero power whatsoever to the car, which was very weird. This is the first time this has ever happened to this vehicle. Nor has there been any signs of any electrical issues or anything like that. So anyway, we end the stream. I get halfway there, and she calls me and says, hey, I walked out to the car to grab something out of the car, and the dome lights are on. So I was like, oh, I'll go turn to see if the car starts, and it fired right up. So I have no idea, because I got there, I took a look at it, I shut it off, drove it around, turned it back on, shut it off, turn it on, opened all the doors, closed all the doors, everything I could possibly think of to reproduce the issue, and I could not reproduce the issue. So I've never heard of that before. Anyway, one of our community members here, Mike, he's actually somebody who had me build him a PC a while ago. He was bringing his PC in for some service. And he's like, hey, I've got all these controls, because he's a mechanic, and we can just plug it into the Suburban and check all see if there's a code being code in the history on one of the computers or something. So we plugged it in. There's no codes that are relevant to the issue, and so we're kind of lost. I don't know. I personally drove it to Micro Center today because I was like, oh, well, I'm hoping it happens again, because I don't want Mrs. Empower stranded again. It's either that or Mrs. Empower made up this entire thing the whole time. I personally did not see it, obviously, because I was here building a PC. Maybe she made it up. She really wanted my assistance immediately. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't make that up. She wouldn't do that. Tarad. What's up, universe? I wanted to see part 2. Oh, well, we're on part 2 right now. We're doing part 2. Dawson, I'd like to go with a dual PC setup eventually. I have a very high-end PC now, but I stream. I feel a slight delay in games, such as bullets not registering as fast, etc. I play competitive, so little things matter, and definitely took a hit on FPS. What's your PC specs, if you don't mind me asking? But yeah, that was yesterday was a first. We've never stopped a build mid-build like that before, so it was the first time I've ever had to do that out of all of the builds that I've done. The only other time that I've ever had an issue is if like I was missing a part and just realizing in the middle of the build, and or if a part was bad and I couldn't go further with the build because I didn't have another part here for it. It's a 14900K and a 4090. Yeah, you definitely should not be feeling too big of a hit there. What are you running for your stream? What are you using? Like Streamlabs or OBS, or? And then I guess what kind of overlays you running? Or 300 or a Xbox 360 Power Brick. Yep, that was another showstopper. Yep. But outside of that, I've never really stopped a build stream before like that, just so abruptly. So, anyway, we got the car back here, and Mrs. Empower and the girls are safe and sound home. Mrs. Empower doesn't really want to drive the car right now, but I'll probably drive it this week and see if I can reproduce the issue. Hopefully it strands me, because then that'll actually force me to figure out what's going on with it. OBS, no overlays, and 1080p 60. I noticed the little things with everything though. Gotcha. Well, I would say this is Dawson over on Twitch, if anybody's wondering where the conversation is, but I dislike dual PC setup, because not only do you have to capture the video, but you also have to capture the audio. And that can usually sometimes be pretty tricky, but if you use something like Elgato's got a pretty nice system that, or card, I'll say capture card, that you could use. Their external one is a little easier to use because I believe that has the audio. It's more meant for like a PlayStation. And you can stream 1080p 60 FPS pretty easily with one of those, and it really simplifies the audio solution, because you got to be able to, the stream PC has to be able to capture the audio from the gaming PC. So you have the S PC for streaming, and then you have the G PC for gaming, the G PC for gaming. And that's the difficult part, is capturing the video and the audio. So once you have a solution for that, whether it's Elgato or maybe rigging it from the line out using to the line in using a mixer, or however way it's supposed to be. I haven't done that way in a long time. I'd have to actually go back and brush up to see exactly how it's supposed to be done, but there is an AUX option, and I think a sound card. There's so many different options. Anyway, you have to be able to capture both the audio and the video. That's the difficult part. And then understanding that they're two separate PCs also, so you can't it changes the dynamic of your stream. But on the benefit is, just like you said, there's no FPS hits on your PC, your gaming PC, and also if you are streaming and you have to restart your gaming PC, your stream doesn't have to go offline. You can keep your stream up while you're restarting, for example, your gaming PC, etc. So there are benefits to it, and then there's negatives. The negatives is how complicated the setup gets, especially when you're trying to troubleshoot something live. That is a big pain in the butt. Yeah, I have no problem buying the Elgato 4K Pro card. Yeah, I mean, that'll simplify it. Hey, what's up, Steve Anderson? Welcome back to the Build Show. Hi, solar flare hit our area today and knocked out the internet. It's called a geostorm. Oh, I didn't know we were having a geostorm solar flare. Did you guys know? Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day. Did you guys know a solar flare is actually the sun farting? It's literally all it is. It's a fart from the sun hitting the earth. That's how powerful the fart was. Think about that for a second. We just got farted on. Is 90C for my GTX 77? Oh my gosh. Is 90 Celsius for my GTX 760. 760. Hot. Because in the Discord, I was asking some questions, and Roy asked me what the temps under load was, and it was 90 Celsius. Yes, 90 Celsius is pretty warm. Grizz Dragon, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. As long doesn't shard. As long as it doesn't shard. Yeah, I gotcha. As long as the sun doesn't shart. I'm good with it. Yeah, we don't want a sun shart hitting us. That's probably something that would do a little bit more than knock out the internet. Okay, so we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, which was we had just finished installing the motherboard in the case for Jordan for his PC build here. And the next step was to plug in all of our front panel connectors down here at the bottom, and maybe yeah, they're all on the bottom for this board. But we had our CPU installed, we got our 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and our 2 terabyte Gen 4 SSD already installed. So we'll get the front panel connectors plugged in, then we're going to plug in our EPS and 24-pin extensions, which we do have in white for the build, and then we will move on to installing the cooler. So that is kind of the process here that we have left. Seems, Dawson says, it seems just setting it up is a nightmare, but after that I imagine it should be smooth sailing. It should be smooth sailing until you run into a weird problem where something changed somehow, like a driver, and then all of a sudden something stops working, and then you're spending a ridiculous amount of time trying to troubleshoot it. So that's where it gets complicated, is trying to troubleshoot. But Elgato does make that process easier. So I do recommend, if you can find a capture card that supports both audio and video capture, I would go that route. The limitation with those types of cards is the fact that you are limited with FPS on your screen, because it's a pass-through. And what that means is it's capturing the signal as it passes through the HDMI cable. So your monitor, or your, for example, the setup will be from the gaming PC, HDMI plugged into the Elgato, which is your capture card capturing the signal going through that HDMI, and then the HDMI from there going to your monitor. That will limit your FPS, and it will also limit your, well, at least it'll limit the hertz on the monitor. That's the downside. So you got to find a nice enough capture card to allow higher hertz, so you can have higher FPS on your screen. And I think that's the trade-off with the Elgato, is that there isn't any that are like super high high hertz. I think they're like 120 is like the highest one, and that kind of today in comparison to everything else is like meh. So that's the downside. It'd be a breeze if I could find someone who is an expert per se at dual PCs and just hunk up some money for them to set it up for me. Do you know anybody who's a dual PC expert? I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I have a lot of experience dealing with it. People calling me on rigs that I didn't even build or set up and beg me for help because they had nobody else to help them. And here we are, like in the middle of the night, trying to troubleshoot an audio issue because he couldn't go they couldn't go live, and it's fun. Hey, what's up, Tony? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Oh, not gonna lie, I'm a little spent today. Last night was a long night. And I still got up, still went to Micro Center, got all the parts that I needed for stuff. Had like 3 or 4 customers here throughout the day. Did a little bit of troubleshooting on the Suburban. What else did I do? Oh, worked on an open loop today. That was probably the biggest project that I worked on today so far. Made some headway there that I really needed to make. And then I gained 2 open loop PCs that came in for service because they are overheating. One of which I did build and the other one I did not. So, and it's funny, the EK GPU block is the problem on the one I built. Thanks, EK. Thanks, EK. So we're probably gonna tear that thing down and scrub it down because there's shit all over the fins. Every freaking EK block I've ever used does it. Nice looking Montech case right there. Thanks, Tat. Yeah, let's get started on this. Let's get back to work on Jordan's build. This should probably take about an hour to finish up. So for those of you who are hoping to get to bed early, we should be wrapping up around 10 p.m. today. Sadly, it's not a King 95. No, but it is a Montech Sky 2. The next best Montech. Other than the 903 Max, of course. Alright. So, let's get our front panel connectors in. We've got our USB 3 here, our USB-C, our front panel power reset switches here. If we have USB 2.0, which we do not, that would be here. We do have some PWM and addressable RGB headers in it, as well as our front panel HD audio here. This does have a hub for the fans. We'll get those routed to the bottom here and then get those plugged in. The unfortunate thing is I think this short angle maybe. I think we'll make it work. I think we can make this. But literally everything on this front panel plugs into the bottom of this board, which is not normal. Most of it usually is, except for USB 3 and C. Usually that goes up towards the side of the motherboard there. Big deal. Yeah, I thought I was going to set it up so I had pretty much the evening off, but here we are. Maybe on the next solar fart, sun fart, we'll have the evening off. So Steve, what are you doing if you don't have internet? How are you getting connected? Are you using the 4G, 5G? The old mobile hotspot? All right, there we go. We got all those plugged in there at the bottom. We got our HD audio, our addressable RGB to the hub, our PWM fan connection back to the hub, which is going to control all the fans here. We got our USB 3, USB-C, and our front panel, which is our power reset, LEDs, etc. That all goes to that. connection. So next, we can go ahead and get our EPS cable 24 pin, and we can actually install this bottom fan now. Now that that's out of the way, we can put this in. If I get all the parts for mailed them to you, how much is the build fee? Grizz Dragon, my build fee here now is 200 flat fee. Used to be 150, but I had to increase it recently, unfortunately. But try to keep it fair, and it is less than Micro Center still. And also that is for a standard build with like an AIO or an air cooler. Does not include open loop services, which is way more. What specs would you recommend for a second PC to run 1080p 60Hz smoothly without any issues? So your stream PC does not need to be anything near your game PC. It just needs to have a few extra cores. So I'd say like a Intel i5 or a Ryzen 5 would probably do the job, but you could probably use the extra 2 cores and get up to like an 8 core processor, like an Intel i7 or Core 7, did I say? Or the AMD Ryzen 7, like a 7700X or a 9700X. That would be probably all you need for a streaming PC. And then from there, the RAM would be based off of how many things are you going to be running on your streaming PC for the stream itself. So, for example, I'm running 32 gigs. I'm not gaming. I'm only running cameras, and I almost max out my RAM running music, OBS, and the cameras. And then, of course, I have Discord and other things open. But with all of that open, I'm almost at 32 gigs of RAM. So, between 32 and 64, depending on what you're doing in your stream, will determine how much RAM you'll need. And then, of course, storage. You still want some fast storage, and then if you want some extra room for clipping or downloading or recording while you're streaming, you could do that, but you'll need the extra storage, and then you also need faster storage for that, or you'll prefer faster storage. You don't need it, but it would be ideal to have it so you can move files around quickly rather than having to sit there and wait for it. So that's what I would recommend, is something like that. And then, of course, the graphics card, you don't really need anything crazy. Even if you just ran like an RTX 4060 would be fine. You don't need anything crazy graphic-wise for the streaming rig. As long as it handles the NVEC or the encoding, it should be perfectly fine. So a 4060 or 5060, probably just fine. You don't need a 4090 in your streaming PC. At all. And I know too many people who have done that, and I'm like, why? Why, though? Yeah, I feel like 200 is pretty fair. 150 was like a bargain. Now 200 is pretty fair. Micro Center charges, I think, 250, and then there's other places like Best Buy that charge even more than that. So, and I also include more services than them as well, because I go start to finish out of box experience. You literally fire it up, and all you got to do is log in and start gaming. Well, download your games and start gaming. But I mean, I make sure Secure Boot's enabled. I make sure your XMP or AMD Expo profiles are set. I make sure the BIOS is up to date. I play around with the fan curves to make sure they're optimal for the best I can, based off of benchmark loads. And of course, that could change based on the different types of games you play. But for the most part, I mean, it's pretty out of the box, standard, stable, and ready to go. So, and I test the crap out of them too. I don't just say this and then a Hail Mary and hope it works. I test it thoroughly to make sure it will work for you when you get it. How much can I expect to pay for a streaming PC as such with a 8-core processor? Probably if you go with the 32 gig option and like a 2 terabyte SSD, you're probably going to spend around $1,500 for the parts. Yeah, it's 32. Well, you just got to keep in mind, like 32 gigs of RAM right now and a 2 terabyte M.2 Gen 4 SSD, which is kind of like the baseline that I would recommend for a streaming PC. You know, you're going to be spending $450 for DDR5 RAM, 450 to 480. So let's just round up and call it $500 US for the 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. Then you'll be spending another almost $300 on a 2 terabyte Gen 4 SSD, a nice one per se. A cheaper one might be more in the like 240 range, 240, 250 right now. So right there, you've got $750 wrapped up. That leaves you, and that's if you go with the cheap drive, but you get what I'm saying. $750 just for your RAM and your SSD. How about that? Let that sit in for a minute. Let it settle. Think about it. That's for DDR5. And that's why this rig is not DDR5. But that's what I would recommend trying to get to, and that's if you're building it yourself. You're not having somebody build it. Price for somebody to build it, you could be looking more at 1800-ish, I would say. Yes, RAM is outrageous. Absolutely not. RAM is not going to come down anytime soon. In fact, it is supposed to get worse. So it is not. It has not hit its ceiling yet, and it will not probably for the next year. So it's only going to get worse. We've kind of hit a plateau because I think we've ran into enough people not buying it that it's stopped increasing, but I think it is still going to get worse later in the year. When people accept the fact that it's not going to go down, they're going to start buying it again, and that's going to start creeping the price up again. Holy crap, I can't talk today. I hate YouTube. What's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. And Steve was saying, I missed some chats over here on the YouTube. I missed part 1 since I was messing around with my USB. No worries. And final touches on the 5070 build. What happened? LOL. Oh, I had to. Mrs. Empower called me during part 1, and she was stranded. The car wouldn't start, so I had to go rescue Mrs. Empower midstream. We had to cut the stream short and finish the build tonight on tonight's stream, which I wasn't planning on doing. So you guys get a split dual stream night, just 2 really short ones. You're gonna start blaming your tech issues on the sun. Nice. I could use my phone, but not Wi-Fi or even hotspot, or if Wi-Fi is all out. Wow, I didn't realize it's that impacted. If you're a gamer, trust me, you want unlimited data. Oh yeah, that's all we have is unlimited data. Especially when the family's camping. It's funny. I go look at the Verizon bill when we're camping, and all of a sudden, that month that we camped, the data spike is insane on our mobile device, on our mobile phones. I still call them mobile phones. I'm an IT guy at heart. Sorry. I trust you more than the Richmond Micro Center. Nice. 200. If you wanted to ask Best Buy to help troubleshoot my PC, would have been $100 just for them to take it in and tell me what is wrong. They treat it like a car, which is insane. Well, I mean, it's business, so they have to make money in order to make money. If that makes any sense. They have to make money. And I mean, I'm supposed to be making money, but I'm a terrible businessman. I'm too honest. I can't do the business side of it. I literally need to hire somebody that's more of a businessman to make it more of a business than what I am. I can't do it. I'm so lucky my dad worked at a tech recycling center and now have 8 terabytes of SSD space. Dang. That is a nice contact to have, Dad working at a recycling center just grabbing SSDs out of computers. He could literally grab them out of there and flip them for good profit. I'm gonna have a scheduled day to bring my computer in. It's still crashing. Oh, Kenneth, did you try it without that hard drive? For those of you who don't know, Kenneth was having some issues with his computer that we built a while ago. And I'm starting to wonder if we're crashing because of, back in the day, it was the Intel 13th generation processor. But we've been pretty consistent with making sure that it gets the microcode updates on that processor. So we might have to RMA the processor and see if that's the problem. If it's that. But I can run some tests on it if you want to drop it off, Kenneth. I'm sorry, Kenneth. I thought we were pretty good to go based off of what I knew. After doing that BIOS update and resetting all that up. Intel is supposed to be saving the day, making AI memory. Yeah, well, anybody who's making a fab is not going to be for years down the road. Oh yeah, every piece of tech is an appreciating asset now, just like a car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, 25% of its value is gone. Hey, did that with the AirPods and Apple Watches too. Got some. Oh, nice. You got a pretty cool dad. We should probably be friends with your dad. Let me know when you're free. So, Kenneth, I'll be free tomorrow after 4 p.m. That is the next available window. If you want to drop it off, that's when I'll be here. I got mass in the morning, and then I'm going to go stop in over at my grandma's with the girls, and then I've got a puppy cure appointment for Mr. Max. He's got to go get hammed up. I can't wait for my ZRAM. Yeah, we're all waiting with such enthusiasm. Micro Center was charging me $250 plus 50 more just to make sure that all the components are working. Sheesh. Yeah. Well, again, they're a business. They have a way more overhead. So. Yeah, I think Kenneth is having, I thought that's what it was, and he ended up reinstalling Windows or resetting it. I wonder if it's still somehow related, because he just did the reset from the advanced troubleshooter or startup repair is I think how he did the reset, and he opted to do a fresh install So it's a fresh installation of Windows, and we got it booted back up, and then he brought it over, and I did the BIOS update because I was like, you know, it's a good time to do the BIOS. It's been a while since we've done it, and it's one of those 13th gen CPUs, so we want to make sure that stays fresh with the microcode update. So we did the BIOS update. We also enabled secure boot for him because that was not enabled yet. For some reason on his Gigabyte motherboard, it wasn't enabled. But we got that enabled so then he could play Battlefield, and I thought we were good. And we did that today, actually. So kind of strange that we're still running into blue screen issues or issues with the computer. So, yeah, just bring it back tomorrow around 4 if you have time. Kind of 4 p.m. Monday morning, you could bring it in Monday morning, but I won't be here. But Mrs. Empower will be here if you wanted to drop it off. So if you want to drop it off, you can. Just I won't be able to look at it until I get back here Monday around 6 p.m. I've got that contract that I'm working on. So I physically won't be here in the morning. You can drop it off, though, and then I can take a peek at it when I get back at 6 p.m. on Monday. Either way, I'm probably not going to look at it until 6 p.m. Monday at this point, Kenneth, because even though I'm free tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to have a crazy ton of time to troubleshoot it. So then if you just get it to me any time between now and Monday before 6 p.m., that's when I'll be able to look at it for you. And I can take a deeper dive into it. Okay, so outside of that, let's get our EPS cables plugged in and get this thing built. We've definitely spent a little extra time here chatting. So, all good though. I don't mind chatting. I just said the PC would be built in an hour, and we're definitely not going to make that time frame. So here we go. Let's get her done. I really love how Empower logo still has the Santa hats. Yeah, I mean, that says a lot about, where I'm at right now. I'm a really busy guy. I pretty much have AI running my calendar now. Skynet controls my life already. You should see how it reacts when I double book something. It does not like double booking. Hey, what's up, Mr. Built 500? How's it going? Welcome to the Build Show, where it's all fun and games. Can you build me a PC? I mean, yes, I definitely can, but we definitely need the funds for it. Can't do any freebies right now, it's too expensive. What kind of PC are you looking for us to build? Mr. Empower, you can't be in two places at once exactly. You know what I tell AI? I tell it, well, I'm Mr. Empower. I'm always in two places at once. Alright, cable combs, guys. You already know how I feel about these, but for those of you who don't know, cable combs are my favorite. You didn't catch the pure sarcasm there. It's not that I don't like doing them, it's just I don't like spending the time on them. Because they're, takes a little bit of time to do that. Heads down, I can't read the chat, I can't do anything while I'm sitting here doing these because I gotta focus on it. I don't know, somebody could be calling me all sorts of different names in the chat and I would never know. Not that I care. Do 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 do. Good song. This used to be one of the entry songs to the Build show a while back. Oh yeah, looking good. No, we really don't do freebies here. We do for subscribers and members, subscribers of Twitch and members of YouTube. Eventually, we'll have another $1 PC giveaway. Which reminds me, I need to probably go back and update that because we've had quite a few new members. So active members also, by the way. I got super lucky, man. I found a 4080 Super Arrow from Gigabyte for $650. Nice. Hey, bro, in chat. What's up, Jones? Bro, and chat. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Tom, welcome back to the Build Show. I don't know if I saw you earlier, and if I already said it. Mario, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. When do you expect RAM prices to return to pre-crisis levels? I do not anticipate the RAM prices to go back anytime soon. We're talking a year plus that this is going to be. This could even be the new price for memory going forward, period. It may never go back. No joke. I am not joking about that. That's how. Use your imagination for this abbreviation. F, we are. I got super lucky, man. I found a 4080 Super on Arrow. Oh, for 650, 4080 Super for 650 is not a bad price. Not a bad price. Not a bad price. I like that. Thank you for the sub. Over there on YouTube, Mr. Biltz. Nice. I'm fantastic. He's fantastic because, you know, he's Intel fanboy. It's called tariffs on RAMs, memory chips. It's not just the tariffs. Not just the tariffs. It's called supply, demand equals unrealistic dollar signs. And when they're not making the same supply that they were making before, because they promised, should I say not gave, they promised a percentage of their production to a different area of the world, aka not our gaming memory or computer memory and such, it impacts all of them. The other things that are going to go up in price that maybe have not been impacted yet, but will be, and I can guarantee this is going to happen. Your Xbox, your PlayStation, your smart TV, your smartphone, your car, your smart fridge, anything with DRAM in it is going to go up in price. I shit you not. It's going to get super stupid expensive for everything very soon. Most of these are still using old previous inventory When that runs dry, all of those prices on those things are going to skyrocket. DDR6 is not going to solve it. Exiled Wolf Gaming, welcome to the Build Show. First time chat over there on the Twitch. Welcome. Welcome to the madness. Anything with... Yes. It's not just computer. Yes, technology will be very expensive, exactly. Also, SSDs, storage. Anything with storage SSDs in it. Your Raspberry Pi, for example, that's going up in price already. I just read something that was going up as far as like $60 for the Raspberry Pi. Hey kid, want some RAM? Hey kid. Hey kid, you want some RAM? I got some RAM in my van. Why don't you come check it out? I'll be the one that falls for that, by the way. I do like that meme, though. The whole free RAM on the side of the van. It's a sketchy looking van. Back to spinning. Exactly. We may as well just go back to mechanical drives and download Windows XP. Screw it. Let's go play Crysis. I wonder if there's download more RAM scams going to be more popular now that RAM is so expensive. People are actually willing to try to download more. I wonder if that's going to be a thing or if that's just crazy talk. Tat, what's up? Those are the best times. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, kid. You want to check out the RAM in my van? That's so bad. I give up, Ben. Just have to buy me another piece. Just don't give up on it, man. We'll get it figured out. Just get it here, and I'll troubleshoot and figure it out. And bring those drives too, if you don't mind, Kenneth. Just get it over to me, and I'll take a look at it, and we'll figure it out. Don't lose hope. It is there's just one roadblock on the PC. We'll get it figured out, and then it'll be good as new. All right. So, now that we have our EPS cables, which has taken me, like, I've milked this for like 40 minutes, guys. We gotta make some progress on this thing. You know, it's a short stream because we're only building half a PC, right? Because we already had half of it done. So I'm just sitting here milking it for you guys. I definitely don't typically build at this pace, just so you know. Hey guys, you want to check out the RAM in my van? All right. For real though, let's get her done. This time, it's for real. We actually have to make some progress here, guys. Thank you for the sub over on Twitch. Ask DJ, man. Thank you for the sub over there, sir. I just remembered I had Prime. LOL. I hate you, YouTube. Okay, nice. Well, thank you for the sub over there. I do know who. Yep. All right. Now all we gotta do is bust out our radiator screws and make sure we have those ready to go. Actually get the oh, thank you. Link for Hunter for also with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you. I don't even have a van. Neither do I. I don't have. I might buy a van just to spray paint free RAM or DDR5 RAM on the side. DDR4 or DDR5, one of the two. What was wrong with the car? We don't know. It by the time I got there, everything was working just fine. So that is the theory part. We don't actually know what's wrong with it. Because it started up just fine. So either Mrs. Empower wasn't telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Stuck up. Right. I remember now. I was like, what are we stuck on? Of course, it's the EPS cable. Yeah, she had me drive. I got halfway there, and then she said she went back out to the car to get something out of the car, and the dome light came on, which was not turning on previously. And so she was like, oh, well, maybe I should try to start it now. And she tried to start it and fire right up. So I have no idea what causes a car to suddenly have no power, as if the battery is disconnected. And then suddenly, next thing you know, there's full power. It's like nothing's ever happened. So if anybody has any ideas on a 2013 Chevy Suburban, has ever heard of that type of issue, please share me the experience and tell me what you did to solve it. Because it's acting like there's some sort of ground issue, honestly, is what it sounds like to me. Which is a pain in the D to diagnose. We'll sell you RAM from the trunk of the Dodge Ram. There you go. We need a RAM emote. Alright. Make that happen. Chris says, find a way. Steve, Ram truck. Yeah, find a way to, go back to Chris's comment, find a way to boom of stop buying electronics from, yeah, you gotta stop the boom and just stop the inflation. Yeah, well, you gotta tell everybody in the world, hey, stop buying crap. Onra, Tom's question, I think, to Onra, there were worse places for battery on boards. Oh, okay, that must be a side conversation. I tried Mate, had no sound hardware, is to new no drivers for. I don't know what that means. Not sure. Not part of that YouTube conversation. Sorry, guys. Kenneth Ben, I'm tired of going through this. Can I just donate it and save up for another one? No, man. We could fix it for you. We'll figure it out. I just don't understand. Like, wasn't it like last week you just popped into the stream and everything was great, and then just this week it's not? I don't understand what happened. Hassan? Is it Hassan? Built in this case last year, very easy to work in. Yes, quality is surprisingly very good. For fans and the fan hub, can't get much better than that for the price range. Exactly. Yeah, the Sky 2 is a very good value for the price. For the quality and price you get it for, 100% worth it. Kragans could be loose battery terminal or corrosion. That is exactly what I thought. So I turned the car on and wiggled the crap out of the battery terminals and the cables, and then every harness coming out of the whatchamacallit box. Every wire harness out of that, I wiggled the crap out of it, seeing if I could get the car to shut off. Nothing. I did used to be a mechanic back in the day, or was going that route. I have a little bit of experience. I don't like it anymore. I'm not as into it as much, but I could troubleshoot. So I did do that, and I was hoping to find out it was just something as stupid as like a loose negative on the battery or something, but it wasn't. But that was a good guess. I think the only thing I could call out is that there's this fuse on the positive on the battery line, which goes to, I think, the computer, one of the computers inside the car. I don't actually know where it goes, but I read online, doing a very brief Google search. We're going back to the Suburban topic. That a little bit of corrosion on that could be a sign that that's failing, and there is a little bit of corrosion on it. So I'm thinking I'm just going to replace that and hope, cross my fingers, hope that solves the problem and that I don't ever have to talk about this again. Wonder if you'll even get my PC case on time. We've had a small snowstorm in Denmark. Oh. Most of the time here in the United States, UPS and Amazon, all the major shippers here will deliver even in a snowstorm. Might be delayed, might show up a day late, but usually it's here. Sometimes I've even had them deliver in the middle of the snowstorm, and I'm like, the hell are you doing out there still? Go home. Tony, I still haven't changed the card in the PC swap. Once that's done, then I'll have nothing to do. Are you trying to savor it, Tony? Trying to savor that moment? Like, man, if I do that, then I won't have anything. I'll do it a week from now. Some buses have driven into the ditch. Oh boy. Maybe a bent header pin. What? Alright. Well, we've got the AIO radiator mounted. So that's great. Now we can actually proceed mounting it. That up to the top. Forget about that. So let's go ahead and peel this. Get our thermal paste on there. Mount this block to the seat. This copper block. This is Arctic MX4. This is 45 grams. About a gram per computer. So I should be able to hit about 45 computers with it. I think this tube's around $30 or $40. So it's really good value. Arctic kind of gives you a little bit of a discount with the bulk purchase. So I do appreciate that. They also sent me a bunch of these MX cleaners, which came in handy today when I had to do a water block on a GPU. So these are pretty cool. They work pretty well. I was pretty impressed. Arctic, thank you. Okay, Go ahead and slap this on there. Uh-oh. Somebody saw that. Split a little bit on me, so I'm kind of worried that I smudged the paste a little bit to one side. Will definitely helps. Underload. $3,000 down the drain. No, try, bro. Oh, calm. Says something about my CPU. Now I give up. $3,000 down the drain. It's not $3,000. Dude, if it's the CPU, we could RMA it back to Intel. We could send that back and we can get a free replacement. So there's ways to fix that. And then it'll buy you another couple of years. That by that time, you're probably looking at a new upgrade anyway. So, Intel specifically extended the warranty on that CPU, Kenneth, because of all the issues that they had with it. So, I think they have an extra year or two on the CPU, knowing that because of the problems that they had. It's crashing without the drives. It could even just be a memory problem for all we know. And again, it's all under warranty that I'm aware of. Should still be under warranty, so we should be able to send it all back and get a replacement. We'll get it figured out, Kenneth. You just gotta get it over here and then I can go from there. Trust in my ability to figure it out. It's weird that it wasn't crashing here. So that's why we were under the impression that everything was good to go, right? I'm gonna bring it to you, and you can keep it. I'm tired, Ben. I hear you. I mean, don't. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it until we figure it out, and then I'm gonna give it back to you. Yeah, don't lose faith in it, man. Try something stupid. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. It was a good PC all the way up until whatever issue it ran into. We just haven't figured out what it is yet. I just assumed it was part of that update wave. Everybody all of a sudden had the same issue. It was literally very close to the same screen, air screen. I was like, you know what? That's probably what it is. So. Don't lose faith in it yet. How much do I charge for house calls? I mean, you're not too far away. I can come over to you. Don't worry about that. We'll get it figured out. What I don't understand is why it was working literally just a few days ago, and all of a sudden started having weird issues with it. That's what I keep getting stuck on. I wonder if it's memory or if it's that C. Is either of those. And like you said, it could be a failing SSD for all we know. I won't know until I dig further into it at this point. And that zip tie was crap when I felt it. Nice cable management, thank you. I always try. It works good for a minute and then it crashes. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with it. Either CPU, memory, could be, it could even still be Windows. Maybe we just need to do an external fresh install. But again, I won't know. And honestly, I think it would be better if I had it here. That way I could spend the proper amount of time, testing individually the CPU, the RAM, the graphics card, though I don't think at all it's the graphics card. It could even end up being just a power supply issue. That's just intermittent power. There's so many different things that it could be. I can't just say or predict it's this, because at this point we've already gone through that prediction stage and assumed that it was the Windows update because it was right when that happened. Yeah, now at this point it's got to be something else. So I would say bring it here. I will put it on the bench. I will test the CPU, the RAM, the storage, and just go through the basic tests to make sure we figure out or pinpoint if there is a problem with one of those pieces of hardware. We'll figure it out. And if I can't find anything, I'll just, get the okay from you before I move forward with wiping it. I'll wipe the drive clean and then we'll reinstall Windows again and see if we can reproduce the issue after that. Yeah, if you wanted to bring, like I said, if you wanted to bring it over tomorrow, bring it over tomorrow. And then I'll take it from there and figure it out. My OLED. Oh yes, the OLEDs are nice. I would never buy another one just because of the cleaning. It scares the hell out of me every time. Yeah. Does Kenneth have a gigabyte motherboard? He does. He does have a gigabyte motherboard and a 13. I believe it's an i7 13th generation. So a 13700K, if I remember correctly. Or is it the i9? I can't remember. Reminds me of when I was on my motherboard swap 5 in 2 days troubleshooting, and then it ended up being the motherboard. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I just feel bad because Kenneth is a local customer here, and we He's had his PC that I built him for a while now. I think it's getting close to, what, 2 years now, Kenneth? It's the i9, so it's an i9 13900K. Sorry, I work with so many different computers, Kenneth, I try to remember, but... I'm getting old. Steve Anderson, what is it about a bowl of chicken noodle soup in the winter? It's so good. I think it's because it's warm, and it's got that that broth. Killa says he's got RAM, get him. Yeah. Yep. It's kind of 1 year. Oh, so it's only been a year? I felt like it was longer than that, but all right. Yeah. I mean, it's about a year old now. I can look it up and find out exactly when we ordered the parts, etc. And if it's only a year, then it's definitely still under warranty. Yeah, I'll call you. I'll call you. I'm not going to call you tonight because I'm going to be done for the night after the build show, but you can definitely bring it by anytime after 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then Monday, you can bring it by anytime. It's just you'll be dropping it off with Mrs. and Power during the day, because I won't be back here until about 6 tomorrow, unfortunately. So, and then I can take a look at it from there. Okay? That is the game plan currently, right? Okay, so now that we've got our cooler installed, our AIO, very nice, shiny, new, with the Thermalrate Grand Vision installed. And we've got everything plugged in for that. We can move on to a graphics card install. Which today, we're installing the XFX Swift Pro Gaming graphics card, which is the 8GB 9060 XT by AMD Radeon, and this is the white edition OC. And yes, it is also a white graphics card. So literally everything in this PC is matching the theme, except for the RAM and the graphics card, which are, the RAM is silver and, or I'm sorry, the RAM and the motherboard, which the RAM is silver and the motherboard is the darker kind of gray-black color. What's up? Is your HyperX mic the one that can change color patterns? If so, set it to open circle when it will pick up your voice from everywhere. I know. The reason why I have it set like this there is a reason why I had it set like that. But let me know if this is changed it any. The audio. So I know if I move around the microphone, it should be picking it up anywhere I go around the microphone versus, yes, I am familiar with that, but there was a reason why I changed it. It was because the audio quality was way better on the other option. So I just set it to the open 360 option. Almost completely white, yes. What was that? At 127 when I changed it. When I can look. Last, but not least, there's truth behind that. We got to get the power supply installed. Gonna do a little bit of a cleanup here on the screws and the hardware and all that here. But it's definitely starting to look like a gaming PC, yeah? No, Kenneth, you shouldn't. It's not normal, but it's definitely not something we can't solve. So we'll take care of it. We'll figure it out. I believe you, Kenneth. It's not that I don't believe that it's not crashing, man. I believe you. I'm just a very technical guy. You got to remember that. So I'm always constantly thinking about, why is it crashing? Why is it doing this? Why is it doing that? I'm always constantly thinking that way, like I'm troubleshooting in my head while I'm talking. So I've always been a very technical, analytical guy or person. That's just my thought process when I'm talking out loud like that, you know. Then I'm also sharing with everyone how I'm thinking about, you know, stuff as maybe an educational piece on YouTube. But yeah, if you definitely could bring it over here, I will definitely throw some tests at it and try to figure out what's going on with it. It's not the end of this thing yet. We just gotta spend more time on it. And I think dropping it off, leaving it here, and letting me test it out and test the hardware individually, which will take time, is going to be the right move. So then we can figure out if it's a hardware issue or a software issue. We have to determine if it's that. The next, if all the hardware rules good and passes all their tests, then I will suggest, okay, well, let's reinstall Windows fresh, like wipe the drive clean and start Windows fresh, and I'll load it all up and do all that work, and we'll test from there. He has a Intel i9 13900K and a RTX 4070 Ti Super. I believe it was 32 gigs of DDR5 memory on a Gigabyte Z790 UD motherboard. I don't remember the exact model of the motherboard off the top of my head, but it is not a bad motherboard. Yes, we can disable XMP. I know the troubleshooting steps. I understand, Tom. It's just we've already been through some troubleshooting steps. We've already updated the BIOS. We've already had the XMP profile disabled. And it was actually on my bench here, right here. It was right here, guys, his PC, earlier today. And we didn't have any of these issues. So something is wonky with something in that PC. So we just got to figure out what it is. Correct. You shouldn't have the problems like this. There's nothing I could do to change that. I don't know how or why it's happening. It's my job to figure it out. If you bring it back to me and give me the chance to figure it out, I'll figure it out. What's the best AMD CPU for B450 Tomahawk Pro? Well, any AM4 processor will work well in there, so... But what's the best one? The 5800X3D is probably the best AM4 processor. But you won't have PCIe Gen 4 that CPU offers on that motherboard. Budget build, probably a Ryzen 5 5500 or 3600 or a 4500 if it's budget. But, well, he reinstalled Windows and we reinstalled the NVIDIA drivers, so those are fresh. I don't think it's the NVIDIA drivers. My thoughts are, if it's hardware, it's either going to be RAM or CPU related, or it could be a failing SSD, which all of those things are out of my control. Ben, set GPU to Gen 3, that is imperative, especially with the RTX 50 and GPUs. It's not an RTX it's a RTX 4070 Ti Super. Or are you saying something else that I don't understand there? Anyway, it's gonna be one of those things where I've got to throw OCCT at the CPU, I got to throw a memory test at the RAM, and then I've got to run some crystal disk tests on the SSD and see if all three of those are functioning. If all three of those are functioning and passing tests, then I know for sure the hardware in there is good. That kind of has me leading more towards, okay, it's probably more likely a software issue with Windows. So we can wipe Windows and reinstall Windows. Kenneth, we literally troubleshooted the PC for one day, and you're throwing it away. All right, whatever. I'm not gonna try to argue with you, Kenneth. I could just let you know we could solve the problem. It's just like a car. If there's a problem with a car, do you just throw the car away and then go buy a new car? I don't understand the thought process here. It's nothing I could have prevented on your PC for you. This is completely out of my control. And I understand you said no offense, but there's nothing I could have done to prevent this from happening on your PC. This is completely out of my control. No, this hasn't. We haven't tried to post this yet. We've just been talking so much. I haven't gotten there yet. We still got to put a power supply in here. I have no idea, Tony. I don't know. Kenneth, all I can tell you is that I'm not going to have this conversation any further in my YouTube chat in the middle of a live stream while I'm building somebody else's computer. I will talk to you on the phone tomorrow about the computer problems, and we'll get it straightened out. I don't know why it's all of a sudden a crisis when we literally were just on the phone before the stream, and I literally was helping you at no charge, trying to help you all day today with your computer. Well, the time that you helped, the time that you brought the computer over, and then yesterday as well, last night, I also helped you. I don't know why we're all of a sudden, and this is completely out of my control. There's nothing I could have done to prevent this for you. So I don't understand why we have to have this conversation in the middle of a live chat on my YouTube channel while we're building for somebody else. I mean, if I was building your computer live on stream, wouldn't you care about somebody coming in and complaining about a computer problem? I already told you we could look at it tomorrow. I'm sorry this has happened. I have no control over it. All I could do is offer to help and get it resolved tomorrow. And Monday is honestly the soonest I'll be able to look at it, because of my already really busy schedule. Thank you, owner. Cable management is probably my favorite part of the build. All right, Jordan. If you're not here, I wouldn't blame you. But if you are here, let me know. Because it's time. It's time to reveal the build. And I need you to tell me when to power it on. Bet I'm glad you stream and spend time with us. You do good work, and I learned a lot from you. I know you are not getting rich. No, I'm definitely not getting freaking rich. That's what I wish more people would understand. But doing this because you love building PCs, yes. And I love helping people. But some people just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything further. You're going to watch the Super nice killer loop. I predicted 3-3 score. Overtime score 10-3 Patriots. Somebody must be a Patriots fan, because I firmly believe the Seahawks will take them to the Pound Town Express. I think it's going to be like a blowout from the Seahawks side, unless, you know, New England's defense does something. Yes, congratulations, Jordan. Yes, all Velcro ties would be better, yes. Velcro ties would be better because you can remove those and put them back on when you're done. So if you ever have to go in there and do any type of maintenance, you don't have to re-zip tie everything. You just undo the Velcro and redo the Velcro. Simple. It's reusable. So that's the reason why Velcros are better. Zip ties, you know, if Velcros aren't available in the build and I'm not offering them as part of the premium, that it's zip ties, which zip ties work just as well. It's just they're not reusable and you have to cut them to open it up. So cable management is my least favorite. We'd work well together. It makes me kind of sad the Seahawks were my team, but I stopped watching them when everybody was learning the flag. Oh, yeah. I'll order some Velcros from my first build. Yeah, that's the idea behind it. I mean, zip ties work just fine if you don't want to get the Velcro. Some power supplies in some cases actually include Velcros. Like this one had three Velcros for the build. So, all right, Jordan, I'm going to assume that you are not here because I haven't seen you in the chat. I'm going to power this system up on your behalf. So, Jordan, this one is for you. 3, 2, 1. That was just kind of ironic that it chose white RGB, FYI. Nice. Very subtle. Waiting for that post. Fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. Yes. Yeah, Loop, I know. I tried. Loop says I hate both teams. Yeah, I know. If it's not the Lions, I don't care. Although I'm kind of rooting for the Seahawks because I don't want to see New England win after just going through a rebuild, and that it only taking them the what, 6 years to get back into the Super Bowl. Fire. Oh yeah, it's nice. It's looking real nice. Fancy. Just wait for it to finish posting. Holy smokes. It did already post. I just pressed Y for the new CPU alert. No, I don't know what it's doing. Should be going to the BIOS. Hello? You figured out that you might have to take me through a training session. I've tried. I still play with it, and I still find new things on it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, after you figure it out, it's pretty good. I'm sure there's still more in the software that I haven't learned because I haven't played with it long enough. But for the most part, it's pretty basic, and once you understand it, it's pretty easy to use. Lizard GIF on the cooler. LCD. Lizard. Seahawks will run all over them. Seahawks played in the toughest division in football and came out on top. Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win this one. For sure. No RGB, no RGB on the RAM. Nope. Hey, Caden, nice to see you went live. Sorry, I just joined the stream. I love the builds. Thanks for what you do. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for joining, and welcome back to the Build Show. This is the end of tonight's build stream. So we'll be wrapping up here in just a few moments when I hope that this thing posts again. It already posted once. Bro? I'm gonna shut it off and turn it back on, the old IT trick. We're gonna do a little bit of shut off and turn it back on. Yeah. wonder if it needs a BIOS update, because it is a 7800 XT, but it did post and it did display, and I did hit yes. $9060 XT, nice, 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 yes. It's either that or my monitor decided to just take an absolute dump in the worst time. We have the num lock, which usually indicates that it's posting, and my screen is showing like it has activity. Was ist das? Wonder if it's a memory issue. The good news is I have another brand new kit here. Because when you're Ben, you accidentally order 2 of everything. Monitor has activity as if it's going to do something, like there's a source plugged into it. Keyboard numlock was on. No post. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. We're gonna make a RAM change and see if that changes anything. Because it did have its initial post, which is so weird. This would be the first time I've ever had any issues with KingBank. If it does happen to be that. I have nothing to say bad for M in this economy is quite painful. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one. Literally, all brand new components, posted once, pretends like it's going to post, and then just sits here at a black screen. Wonder if it's GPU related, then... This motherboard, of course, does not have debugger lights. This is a RTX 4060, known, good, and working. Very convenient being a place that has all these extra parts. Try to fire this up with a different card. See if it posts. All brand new components, and this is the experience we get. Unless I somehow bent the CPU or something. The pins. Hey guys, you notice a problem here? Maybe I need this plugged in. I'm like sitting here. Oh man, that didn't work. I'm running out of ideas. I mean, I have a 5500 I can throw in here. Oh, there we go. We got a boot screen. So now it's saying, please insert your boot device. But why isn't it going to the BIOS? Kind of weird. I wonder if it was just sitting on the screen and I couldn't see it for some reason. I wonder if I plug in the installation drive and fire it up with that stuff. Huh. Weird. Because it was acting like it was posted. I'm gonna put the Windows installation media in and see if it fires up. Like, what? I also didn't tap any of the buttons to get to the BIOS, so maybe it was just sitting at that stupid screen and it was kind of out of screen resolution range or something. Weirdness. Huh. Now I'm getting a BIOS screen. So weird. Can anybody explain this? Can anybody explain this to me? Why that just worked? Other than we're still running the old RAM, or the new RAM, which I guarantee if I put the other kit of RAM back in here, it's going to work just fine. We're going to do that just for the S's and the G's. I'm so confident I'm going to put this RAM back in the box. Back to the package. Now we're posting like normal. Booting to the Windows setup. I have no explanation for any of this. Zero explanation. Any thoughts, guys? Yeah, I think it was just sitting at the, hey, no boot device detected screen, and it was just a lower resolution than my monitor could display. Honestly, I think that's what it was. Or lower resolution than my HDMI cable could handle, which is pretty rare. So... could have been retraining the RAM. Maybe I wasn't patient enough. But it's DDR4, so usually that doesn't take longer than 15, 20 seconds maybe at the most. That's a long time. I'm gonna throw coffee money on it. Nice. I've been putting my lively backgrounds on it. Lovely. Yep, Steve. All the cables are plugged in, but we're posted now. We're actually at the Windows setup screen. I'll get you guys to a side view again. One of the differences is no thermal-right screen is running. Not sure if that has anything to do with it or not. Ow. Don't know. Guess we'll figure out later. During the tests. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we test everything. That's also, if you build a lot of PCs, why you have a lot of extra hardware sitting around, so you can do stuff that I just did. So just swap it out and test. Makes troubleshooting so much faster. This surely won't cause any instabilities. Nope. Yes, I'll be doing a full-blown memory test on it, don't you worry. I'll be verifying all of that. So part of the battle-tested FBI Agents 420 that I do here is I do CPU tests, I do RAM tests, I do storage read-write tests, and then of course I do graphic benchmarks, and then I do a combo through OCCT for stability tests. So all of that is part of the battle-tested phase for each computer I do build. So even if it does pass and it doesn't present any issue, I will catch a problem in that net of tests. But with that being said, guys, we're posted. We're finally posted, up and running. It's built. Jordan, we're finally built. Those are 120s, Onra. Those are only 120s, and they are reversed. Yes, Steve, I'm pretty sure he did. There's a specific reason why he chose that number. That FBI agent was already taken. So 11-year-old me was like, 420 is funny, so... Kenneth, don't worry about it. We can get the computer here, and I'll take a look at the computer on I'll take a look at it and we'll run some tests on it. We'll get it figured out, okay? So just get the computer here. Awesome glass cover time. Oh, if you want the glass. Actually, looks like I could wipe some of this down. I gotta say, the background music, FW heavy, when it's playlist dropping. Or just call me Carlos, I don't mind. Well, welcome to the Build Show, Carlos. Chris, what's up over there on the Twitch? Fire or clapping? My old eyes can't determine which one that is. Yeah, that'll be it for me, guys. We got the build done for Jordan, so hopefully we can turn this around and have it ready for pickup as quickly as possible for him, because he's been very, very patient with us, especially having to cut the stream midstream yesterday. So here we go, Jordan. Almost done. We're almost across the finish line. And don't worry about the little hiccup there. We'll figure that out. We always do. Ah, yes. Thank you, some giant idiot, for mentioning the after party, which is over on Discord. If anybody would like to join the Discord and who hasn't already joined the Discord, you're more than welcome to join. Simply by clicking the link in the chat that some giant idiot posted there, or requested from Streamlabs or the Empower AI on Twitch. That is your invitation link to the Discord channel. We talk about hardware there. We sort out random weird issues there. We talk about builds. We show off builds. We also play some games in there, so feel free to join. And look forward to seeing you over there. Alright guys, that is it for me tonight. We'll see you guys on the next build show, which will most likely be Monday night. If not Monday night, then it will be for sure on Wednesday. But I am going to try to get a stream together on Monday night, unless I'm overwhelmed with service on Monday, which, like I mentioned, right now I have a total of 3 open loop builds on the benches over here that I am working on. One's a brand new build. One's a build that was built by somebody else that they brought to me to figure out, because it was a D-lid with a Thermal Grizzly older block on it, AIM 5 processor, and all of a sudden, just randomly out of the blue, it started getting really hot, like up in the 80s while he's gaming, which is kind of abnormal for an open loop. And then I've got a open loop that I built that has an EK block on the GPU. EK, thank you. That the fins are all clogged up, and I have no idea how that happened. So here we go. It's open loop week. So those are all the fun projects I have going over here outside of this, and helping Kenneth and the 3 or 4 other builds that I gotta do, and then the other build that I gotta ship out, and then the EVGA power supply I gotta ship back to EVGA, hoping that they actually ship me a power supply back through RMA. You know, all that fun stuff. Anyway, nobody cares. Have a good night, guys. We'll see ya. What are you still doing here? Go get gaming. It's Saturday night. Get out of here. We'll see you guys. Have a good night.